I didn't get your name. I'm Will. Those are fucking cool. Are those bonbons?
All right, folks, it's time to think like a marketer. We are looking at another episode of Platonic, Season 1, Episode 3, starring Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. Let's go.
What up, boys? Hey, yo, I got something to float by you guys. A possible collab for us.
A collab?
What do you think of Johnny 66?
Johnny 66. Oh, that's the restaurant chain, right? Yeah, it's like a fast casual place.
Yeah, it's super cheesy, terrible.
I don't know, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, he should be excited about this type of opportunity. Obviously, they're a very small niche bar, and a restaurant chain that sounds like it's kind of like Johnny Rockets in the US would allow them to tap into a much larger market. What he's really talking about is diversification. Now, when you hear the word diversification, are you thinking of like making more of something in a different color, in a different type, in a different flavor, in a different size? In marketing, diversification refers to both the product but also the market side. So if you look at the model of diversification as a strategy, what he's talking about is market development. They're not necessarily changing the product, at least right now, but what they're looking to do is expand their reach into other mainstream markets that they haven't been able to hit before. Again, their bar is currently located in downtown LA, and it's patronized by artists, aspiring actors and actresses, neckbeards, hipsters. In the case of Johnny 66, you might be looking at families where the parents are high income earners and they might be closer to the upper echelon of household income, customers on the Gen X side who might be retired, sitting on a pretty healthy nest egg, and they come to Johnny 66 to have breakfast and coffee with their friends. And the Johnny 66 deal, whatever type of deal this might be, will give them the resources for market development that they don't necessarily have on their own. Let's keep watching, see what happens.
I fucking met the CEO of Johnny 66, and guess what? He's interested in licensing our beer. You're welcome. And he's coming in tonight to try it. Let's fucking close this shit.
Whoa. If I were in this conversation, I would actually ask him to back up a little bit, because he initially came into the room saying that it's a collaboration, but he's talking about licensing, which are very, very different things. Collaboration typically involves two different brands or two different parties, and they might come together to create a brand new product. So if you happen to follow any beauty influencers, you might see them come out with their own custom palette where it's the name of the influencer X collaboration with Fenty or Morphe or ColourPop or whoever they're working with. A collaboration is typically also a temporary agreement. It's for a set period of time. It's not a long-term partnership. Licensing, on the other hand, is a long-term partnership where one business and another business enter an agreement where one of them is allowed to manufacture, sell, produce, or distribute, or slap their brand name onto the other party's products. That also includes their intellectual property, their assets. In this case, for the brewery, that also includes their custom recipes. Again, licensing and collaboration are two very different things. It's quite possible that the guy came into this knowing that and used the word collaboration as a more familiar word to get their foot into the door. It's not something to take lightly where you fire off your finger guns and say, yeah, let's do it. This is a huge decision that affects the future of the business. So let's see what happens next in the conversation.
I don't think that is like really what is representative of who we are necessarily.
Which is what again?
Which is creating an incredibly high quality product using integrity and then selling that product to people on hinge dates and like pretty well-to-do alcoholics.
So let's clarify those two personas for a second. Single people who are on hinge dates, absolutely. People who are on a first date, if they're looking to impress their partner with their refined taste in alcoholic beverages, they would bring them to a hipstery bar like this in LA. Why not? Well-to-do alcoholics, yes. He's talking about people who already have a refined palate, who can appreciate the quality and care that he puts into the product, which is what he means when he says integrity. They're also an audience where price isn't really a barrier for them, and repeat purchases and repeat visits are probably expected of that particular segment of their customer base.
Well, I think Johnny 66 is a dope-ass idea, and if he likes our beer, we make freaking bank, bro.
Can they make bank with Johnny 66? Absolutely. The brand name, all of the recipes, the products, their equipment, and then they port it over to Johnny 66. Yes, they are absolutely in for a buttload of money. That is, if that's what they're going for. Now, the agreement might have a different set of terms, where the licensing means that Johnny 66 will allow to have their beer on tap. They will control or at least have a hand in the recipe. It'll have their branding on it, and there might be more long long-term revenue share agreement between them. And this might all look great on paper in the moment, but there's a long-term risk that they need to assess. You essentially become their manufacturer and their supplier. So the relationship might be equal right now before the agreement gets signed, but once it does, it can actually put these guys in a subordinate position to Johnny 66. Yes, they will create the beer, they'll give them their recipes, but a corporate brand like Johnny 66, they're looking for expansion, they're looking for penetration, they're looking for the bottom line to get them there. And with these guys as a smaller brewery, with them being in that behind the curtain role and Johnny 66 being probably just about the bottom line, they are in a position to be displaced by a competitor where they can come in and say, hey, we can do what those guys do cheaper, faster, and we can do way more of it. Again, these are things to think of when you're thinking of entering these kinds of deals. Not just look through the lens of it being a cash injection, but also what it means for the business long term.
That's what life's about, right, boys? I mean, think about it. It's about progression. It's about moving up. It's about generational wealth.
Why is he talking about generational wealth? Maybe the capital that he used to invest into the bar was from family members or from a dying aunt? I don't know. Maybe we'll see later in the series.
When you're playing Call of Duty, do you sit on rookie level the entire time? Absolutely fucking not. You move up. You go to Elite, and then after Elite, you go where Johnny 66 with an association of Lucky Penny Brewing is gonna go. You go to Legendary.
I don't know what the fuck any of that means. Because
I do. I love hate Call of Duty. I used to play it a lot, probably 10 years ago, and I had to stop because I think it was giving me hypertension.
that I'm not collabing with a fascist burger chain. I didn't get your name. I'm Will. Those are fucking cool. Are those Balmain?
Yo, she's with me.
Yeah, no fucking kidding. I don't know any-
It absolutely makes sense to look at different opportunities to expand your business. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to look at different ways to scale so that they can drive that growth further. And there's nothing wrong with selling things off either if that was part of your initial exit strategy. The problem between Seth Rogen's character and the Filipino guy's character is that there is some obvious misalignment in what that end game actually is. So what do you think about this whole thing? And whose side are you on in the conversation? Let me know in the comments. Bye.